is Crestron's Pro2 control processor. And long before either of these two were controlling your robot vacuum or playing Song Quiz, this piece of hardware was helping NASA launch rockets, letting your granddad control the home theater, and running MetLife Stadium. Released in 2002, the specs aren't much to brag about today. 32-bit cold-fire processor, 10100 Ethernet, and a measly 4 megabytes of onboard flash memory that was expandable to 4 gigabytes. You can see mine's taken a beating over the years, but these things are built like tanks. Go into enough rack rooms and you can still find many untouched for 20 years with little or no problems. Looking on the back of the unit, we've got a whole host of I/O. Our power connection, proprietary communication, computer programming, 6 two-way RS-232, and several more IR, contact closure, and relay connections. We've also got a couple of empty slots here for my favorite part of this device, the modularity. Along with the 2 series, Crestron released expansion cards, so as an application grew, the controller could grow with it. Some for network capability and others to expand the I/O. I've even got one here that's an analog audio equalizer. Watch me struggle to get these cards installed, and I'll tell you this controller is the hub to a much larger ecosystem of remotes, RF gateways, and other devices like thermostats, dimmers, and many third-party integrations like Philips Hue. Let's take a look inside. A couple of Philips screws, and we're faced with the majority of it being all the cards I installed. It's surprising to see that the inside of it is just as modular as the outside. Everything here is a few screws and connections from being replaced. You see the power supply, the display board, down here is the expandable memory. It reminds me of a PC from the same era, where most of the capability is in how it's configured and it can vary widely for any application. I've pulled them from conference rooms just to put them back to work controlling the lighting, media, and automation in my home. I've since upgraded to something newer. However, when modern hardware and technology fails me, I know the Pro 2 is a solution that will endure.
The horror.
Now that we know about the hardware, let's take a look at the softwares that make it all happen. Toolbox is Crestron's diagnostic and communication software that allows for connecting to devices, uploading and debugging of programs. It's got a built-in text console, and it's a good starting place to find out that if the processor is communicating with other devices it's controlling. You can even host web UI projects and build interfaces for smartphones or tablets. Next we have Simple, where the bulk of programming happens. It's got a Windows 98 feel despite it being frequently updated, and it can look a little busy at times, but as long as it's organized well, the workflow comes quickly with all devices and symbols having a basic left-to-right input and output structure. There's no shortage of logic symbols and modules that can be built or brought in, giving a programmer the freedom of imagination for custom macros and a unique experience tailored to their style of programming. Lastly, there is VT Pro, a UI design software that has plenty of custom graphics that follow the somewhat dated theme of the other softwares. It gives the user vast control on how you want to build different pages. This example is an interface I built to control my home via Android phones. I spent hours making custom animations and filling it with features that I tied back into my Simple program. It's a playground for someone wanting to dip their toes into UI design. As an example of a more obscure application, I wrote a basic program and user interface for one of my touch panels in about 30 minutes to control the power on my PC. This could be tied to something as simple as a button press or based on time. It could be as complex as denying someone access via an incorrect code on a keypad. I manage this by tying into my PC's power switch with this spare piece of Cat6 that I had laying around. The other end's connected to one of the contact closure ports on the Pro 2. Whenever I press this button on the touch panel, the Pro 2 closes those contacts and powers on my PC. And if you're like me and have about 100 of these IR remotes laying around for controlling different devices, you can learn and import those codes into software using this IR learning device and a feature in Toolbox. Even if a specific device isn't natively supported, you have the ability to take control and bring them in yourself. With everything the Pro 2 can do, I feel disappointed with some of the promises unfulfilled of modern voice assistants and home automation. The promise of making my life easier is let down by speech recognition that's not human speech, or a lack of software support turning devices into more e-waste, while the Pro 2 quietly endures. Right to repair is on the chopping block, as most manufacturers are finding new ways to make their electronics one-time use. Reliability is not a priority when the yearly cycle of new devices makes the previous model obsolete. Yet, the Pro 2 will continue to quietly endure. When I posted the first hardware retrospective, I was not sure of the future of it as a series, but I definitely did not expect the attention it got. I want to thank everyone who supported me, especially JoltBolt45, Ben Bridges GM, Mick4740, and Puma Punk Development. Your comments are giving me the confidence and the inspiration to make more videos like this. If you have some unusual and aging electronics you want to see a hardware retrospective on, give me a suggestion in the comments. Until then, I hope you all enjoyed this, and if you did, like and subscribe.